Rigby's Roads, Chapter 22. The Best of Times, the Worst of Times. Jack drove Bonnie to his house to pick up Yogi. Yogi came down the stairs wearing a black leather jacket, new shirt, and a nice pair of jeans. It caught Jack off guard, and he teased Yogi. Excuse me, but did you see Yogi anywhere? Very funny, Jack. Bonnie, this is... Jack started to introduce Bonnie to Yogi, but stopped. He looked at the both of them, who were smiling. So how long have you two been talking behind my back? Yogi walked towards Bonnie and extended his hand for a shake, but she pulled him in and gave him a hug. Jack smiled, seeing Yogi a little uncomfortable with the gesture. He waved them to the front door. All right, let's go. As Jack drove his car into the Grizzly Rose parking lot, he was struck by the diversity of the crowd. Bikers were parking their motorcycles, while limousines were dropping off people. Cameras were flashing, and the whole area buzzed with excitement. From Denver's social elite in tuxes and fancy dresses to bikers in leather and jeans, it painted a picture of an interesting night to come. The music was a mix of country and good old rock and roll as the drinks flowed freely. The crowd was a who's who of Denver's rich and famous. TV personalities, sports figures, the mayor, and strangely enough, they all mixed well with the biker crowd. Jack remembered Wheels saying some of them had Harleys and often participated in the chapter's different events. Hey, tough guy. Someone was tapping Jack on his shoulder. He turned to see Scud, dressed in his biker duds. Scud, what are you doing here? Wheels invited me. I think this is great what he's doing for the community. So how are you feeling? Much better, thanks. I want you to meet Bonnie. Bonnie, this is Scud. Don't let his appearance fool you. He's FBI. Hi, Scud. She shook his hand and found his name awkward and funny. FBI? Really? Yeah, but don't say that too loud. I don't want to scare half the crowd. It's nice to meet you. Catch you later, Scud. Jack and Bonnie made their way across the room. Jack saw Wheels and started to make his way over to him, holding Bonnie's hand the whole time. He was proud of this beautiful young woman, and he wanted to show her off. Halfway through the crowd, Red came up from behind him, put her hand on Jack's shoulder, and stopped him dead in his tracks. Jack turned, and Red gave him a great big kiss right in front of Bonnie. Hey, handsome, are you going to introduce me to your main squeeze? She winked at Bonnie, taking away some of her uneasiness from what had just happened. He felt a little uncomfortable, and both women sensed it, now smiling at each other. On one hand, he was embarrassed, and on the other, Bonnie was seeing another younger woman kiss him, which made him feel larger than life. Well, where's your manners? Red said as she slapped the back of her hand across his chest, trying to force an introduction. Hi, I'm Red. She introduced herself to Bonnie, shaking her hand. Jack thinks the world of you. You're a very lucky woman. Bonnie looked at Jack, who was still at a loss for words. Nice to meet you, Red, she said, feeling more at ease. Red looked across the crowded room and gave a yell. Hey, Big Tony, wait up! She turned to Bonnie. See you later. Bonnie looked at Jack and smiled awkwardly. Well, that was interesting, she teased him. Jack had no response and wanted to change the conversation. There's Wheels. Come on, I want you to meet him. As they walked through the crowd, different people called out, Doc! And a few shouted, How you feeling? Someone else yelled, Hey, Doc! Didn't recognize you with that eye patch. Bonnie was puzzled. Doc? How did you come up with that name? Jack informed her. You don't get to pick your name. It's bestowed upon you by someone else. He looked at her, and she gave him a look, like he was of royal blood, explaining the Duke part of his title. Wheels! Jack was excited. I want you to meet Bonnie. Bonnie, this is Wheels. Bonnie extended her hand, but Wheels gave her a big hug instead. It's nice to meet you, finally. Wheels turned to Jack. You're right, Jack. She is beautiful. Which made Bonnie blush and gave Jack a satisfying smile. Wheels continued the conversation. Nice eye patch. How's your eye? It's okay. Just looks like bloody hell. How's your shoulder? It's fine. I just can't do any heavy lifting for a while. Hey, there's the mayor. Come on, I'll introduce you. The party was fantastic. The music was rocking, and everybody was having a great time. Wheels introduced the mayor to Jack and Bonnie, but while he was shaking hands with the mayor, Jack slowly tilted his head to the side as someone across the room caught his eye. It was a big guy who looked familiar, but Jack couldn't place him. Bonnie elbowed Jack slightly to pay attention to the mayor, and then, after saying their hellos, he scouted the room again. "Who are you looking for?" Bonnie asked. He looked disturbed and concerned. "I thought I saw somebody that looked familiar, but I'm not sure. It may have been someone who rode with us to Sturgis." The band stopped playing, and the MC of the night grabbed the microphone. "Can I have your attention, please?" someone shouted from the crowd. "Quiet!" It was followed by many shushes. "Thank you. Last year there was a tragic fire in Hartman Valley, and we lost Russ Maxwell, one of our chapter members, fireman, community leader, and father of 3. Not only did Wheels set up a scholarship fund for his kids, but he took it upon himself to replace the community's fire truck. Everybody here has contributed to that goal in one way or another, from your participation in the poker runs and other events, as well as your own private charitable generosity. Tonight, we celebrate the success of all your efforts. Wheels, we salute you for organizing and achieving this great goal." The crowd cheered loudly, and Wheels stood silent as if in another world, thinking how close this night came to never happening. Those around him patted him gently on the back, knowing he was still sore from his wound. "Come on outside, everybody. It's time to see what we're all here for tonight." The back doors opened, and the crowd paraded outside. The excitement grew as they could hear the fire engine siren getting closer to the parking lot. A brand new fire engine with shiny red panels and highly polished chrome slowly made its way into the back parking lot, and it gave off a spectacular reflection in the outdoor lights. It was magical. This dream of Wheels had come true. People in tuxedos and flowing gowns, as well as bikers in leather, were crowding around him to shake his hand. Wheels stood there, unable to move or say anything. He stared at the fire truck as it approached closer, and tears started flowing down his cheeks. Jack also started to cry, as he shared not only the generosity of this man, but also the kinship he had with him, going back to that fateful day, the day he almost ended his life. Wheels gave him something more important than friendship. He gave him a new roadmap of life, with new roads to travel, and an understanding of what the other roads in life have to offer. That also came with the teachings of Yogi. Yogi had treated him like a kid from day one, taking over his life, telling him what to do, until he stepped out of his lethargic life and pressed onward. He had been schooled by the best, and he knew it. It was the only way to get him to snap out of his doldrums and step back into reality, chasing the unobvious and hidden joys of life, and it worked. Jack turned, looked at Wheels, and they were immediately drawn together, locked out from the crowd and the noise of the celebration. They hugged each other, and the crowd around them started applauding, some knowing the exact reason behind their relationship, and others applauding only because of the happy scene, not knowing the trick that destiny had played on these two men. "Oh, my shoulder," Wheels hollered, as if he realized he needed an excuse to break off the hug. Bonnie was unaware of the true meaning behind their friendship, and she now saw a side of Jack that was unexpected and honorable. As the fire engine parked and the blaring sirens and flashing lights subsided, Red pointed and shouted, "There's Henry!" Henry was standing on the back of the fire engine, waving his one good arm excitedly to the crowd, like Forrest Gump waving to Lieutenant Dan. The crowd waved back. Everyone was hooting and hollering. It was a joyous occasion. Red leaned in towards Jack. "What happened to Hammer? Why is he wearing that body cast? Didn't the FBI make him wear a bulletproof vest that night?" "They did, and it saved his life, but when he arrived home, he walked his dog down a hill on rollerblades. The parked truck was unhurt, but he broke his collarbone and his arm. What can I say? That's Henry." When they went back inside, everyone took their turn congratulating Wheels again, and he graciously thanked them. "Thank you for being part of this. Couldn't have done it without you." Jack's Y-phone rang, and he answered. Hello? Jack, it's me, Yogi. Listen, I'm going home with Uncle Bob tonight. Going to be his designated driver. I won't be coming home with you, so that will leave you with the house, all to yourself, if you get my drift. Where are you? I'm on the fire truck. Over here. He waved. We're going to take it for a ride. Jack was shocked. You're driving? No, the firemen are taking us for a ride around the block. I'll be back in a few minutes. Let me speak to Bonnie. What for? I want to thank her, that's all. Put her on the phone, please. Jack handed his phone to Bonnie. It's Yogi. Someone tapped Jack on his back. He turned to see Patterson, dressed in his FBI casuals. Hey, Patterson, how you doing? Jack, I want to talk to you about Yogi. Can we talk alone for a few minutes? Sure. He leaned over and whispered in Bonnie's ear. I'll be over there for a few minutes. And Bonnie nodded while still talking to Yogi on the phone. Patterson advised, we know Wheels is Yogi's guardian, and you have had a close-up view of his law-breaking abilities in the past few weeks. Is he in trouble? Am I in trouble? No, not yet. But with your background on the government projects and your security clearance, we would like your opinion about Yogi doing some work for us. What do you mean? Yogi has some unique talents that the agency needs. Not only has he broken into our most secure servers, but he's done some incredible out-of-the-box thinking that has our best IT people shaking their heads in wonderment. That phone of his, speed dial, redirected calls, invisible to the phone company. Our IT folks talk about his exploits like he is some kind of computer god. He's not in trouble, Jack. We need him. Your country needs him. But we need your security observations to tell us if we can trust him or not. Consider this an official background check. We want the truth, straight up. But he's only a kid. What would Wheels say? I don't know if he would even consider it. We've already talked to Wheels, Jack. He says it's up to Yogi. We need your opinion about the trust factor before we talk to him. As far as being a kid, well, his hacking abilities are far more advanced than any of our agency's best. This kid's a genius, and the head of the agency asked us to make this a priority. Jack realized how serious this was. I've only known him for a few months, but in that short time, I can say without a doubt that he's 100% trustworthy in every aspect, and I would trust him with my life. Thanks, Jack. That's what we wanted to hear. By the way, have you ever considered coming back to work at the think tanks? Yes and no. I know it's something I can fall back on, but after all the excitement I've been through lately, I'm not sure I want to go back. But thanks for asking. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're the Whiskey Slingshot Band. So this ain't our usual kind of show, but we got a call from this guy, Wheels. He hit me up and asked me if we could play one song. Just one. And then he told me this story about a firefighter who lost his life, a family who lost their dad, and a town that lost more than a fire truck. Wheels got real with me. Told me some stuff about his life, some of it heavy, some of it wild, about these friendships that came out of nowhere and how a bunch of twists and turns brought him here to this very moment. And you know what? That story hit me. It stuck. So tonight, we're all here to party all night long, and this first song is called Life Saving Roads. And this one's for Wheels and his buddy Doc. Wheels looked at Jack, and they simply acknowledged each other with a thank you nod. Jack looked around for Bonnie, but could not find her. He walked around the room and finally pulled Red aside and asked her to check the ladies' room. Red came out, shaking her head. Jack walked outside and thought she was on the fire truck that was taking people for a ride. Jack waited until the fire truck made its way back into the parking lot. He gazed at the passengers and saw Henry and Yogi, but no Bonnie. Jack raised his hands to his mouth and shouted to Yogi, "Have you seen Bonnie?" A motorcycle roared its engine from the corner of the parking lot, and Jack was terrified at what he saw. It was Scarson, without his eye patch. That's who I saw inside before, but didn't recognize him without his eye patch. His focus changed to Scarson's passenger. Oh my God, it's Bonnie! Her arms were around Scarson's body, with 2 sets of handcuffs linking her hands together in front of him. The motorcycle came within inches of him as it raced out of the parking lot into the street. He was too shocked to move. As they raced by, he saw the terrified look on Bonnie's face as she screamed, "Jack!" He stood there helpless as they rode off into the night. End chapter 22.